Well, Sav, welcome to the Coffee and Calling podcast.
Man, I wasn't expecting to be here, but here we are.
So glad you're here.
Oh, me too.
This is quite the unexpected recording because I talked to Anna last week who said her amazing and wonderful and gangsta youth pastor was coming through IWU, so we had to get her on the podcast.
Oh, you know it. You know it.
Yeah.
It was kind of a last minute text. And she was like,
just voice memoed her. And I was like, hey, would you be down? She's like, I'm down.
Okay.
I didn't even know Anna had like a podcast. So I was like, what is this? But yes.
I have a confession to make about that voice recording. I was there and I was at lunch. It was the second or third attempt, and Anna's first, she did amazing on the first part of it, and then she turns it to me and I go,
He's like, redo it.
And so what you got in the end was a second or third attempt, which was still me saying, hello.
I was wondering. I was like, what's happening right now?
That's where I feel old. I'm 29 years old. And how old are you?
20.
20?
20.
20? That's a 9-year difference. I can't do the like voice memo thing. I can't do it.
I'm 31 and I'm doing it.
You're cool though.
Whoa.
That's all. I've heard no other description of you besides you're cool and awesome. So,
man, if that's what gets you on a podcast, that's pretty great.
That's it. Now, granted, Anna is cool, so people she thinks are cool automatically get a spot. So,
wow.
yeah. It's kind of.
I'm honored. Thank you, Anna.
No, thank you, Tyler.
Yes, absolutely. I told Anna this before, but in my list of top 10 coolest people I know, Anna is in the top 10. I haven't told her which spot of the top 10, but she's in there somewhere.
She might make my top 10 too.
Wow.
Anna's pretty great.
Wow. You guys are so kind.
Yes, of course. Yeah. So, okay, Anna, tell us about your time in youth group with Sav. And then Sav, tell us some really embarrassing stories about Anna. That would be great.
Oh, gosh. Yeah. So I started coming to youth group off and on the fall of my sophomore year.
Mm-hmm.
But then I started coming regularly after the winter retreat. I'm like, met the Lord, and he like changed my life, you know?
Yeah, he does that.
Such good things. And and Sav was the youth pastor there at the time. I mean, she's still there, but just in a different role. And yeah, she was like the person that really discipled me. And
let's go.
And then she became like such a good friend too. And yeah, just had some crazy times in high school. I just remember the bird story. One time I was at her house, and she has a deep fear of birds. like actually, she's like scared, like
really?
Legitimate fear.
Any certain kind of birds, or just all birds?
All birds, but like peacocks are like the worst of the worst. Like,
so you can't go to the Fort Wayne Children's Zoo?
Oh no, but like. And now that we have a kid, I'm like, we're just gonna have to stay away from this section because they're just walking around everywhere.
Yeah,
everywhere.
It's true. Yeah, so one time I was at her house and she had this Christmas wreath on her door, and there was a bird that had made a nest in it. And so I was opening the door to leave her house, and the bird flew into her house.
Like, you can't make this up.
So I have a video of it. So fun. Anyways, yeah,
it was circling our living room.
No, literally. It was like, and then it was just perching on the TV. It's like, what do you do?
And Sav's in the background. Burn the house down.
Literally,
burn the house down.
I said, Anna, go back inside.
And it was like
get the bird.
It was like wintertime too. So yeah. Anyways, it was this whole.
So that bird's not coming back out into the cold in a warm house.
Because I think in the background was like a football game, and the bird is literally perched on the TV, and I'm like, Anna, please, go.
Like, so funny.
You're like outside of your house, watching through a window in the cold, watching the game still.
Legitimately what happened.
I think I was by my recycling bin, just like on the other side of the house.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So anyways, great times within our friendship. And yeah, Sav is just such an intentional leader. And I've seen her just really pour into every student she encounters. And the youth group is not small. And so it is just really cool the way that she leads students and the way that she leads like small group leaders. And yeah, I just really admire her. And she's so cool too. So
and she's so cool and amazing.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I can't say it enough.
I cannot. Well, I mean, I could say the same thing about Anna Vi. I mean, I don't specifically remember the exact day that I met you, but I remember Anna would always be coming up to me after different messages and asking these questions about Jesus, about faith. And I was like, hey, like, let's get breakfast. Like, let's sit down. Like, and
shout out Cosmos.
Yes,
Cosmos is our breakfast place in
nice.
Fort Wayne. Yeah,
some good memories there and great conversations because she was just trying to figure it out. Like, what is Jesus? What does it look like to have a relationship with him? It's not just this religion thing that oftentimes we get confused by. And so you had so many questions. And I just remember, like, we just processed and worked through those, but we just did life together. It wasn't just always, like, serious, but it was like we just did life. And, like, this is what it looks like to have a relationship with Jesus. You can still have a ton of fun, but hey, like, there's so much joy in following the Lord. So, like,
so good.
You began, like, asking a ton of questions. And then I remember, like, winter retreat was, like, a pivotal moment. And, like, Anna was, like, all in.
That's
like,
so cool.
Was that
so
your
good.
junior year? Like, going into your junior year, or was it still your sophomore year?
It was the winter of my sophomore year.
Okay.
Yeah. So good, though.
Dang, following a semi-state basketball loss.
Oh, yeah.
It's okay. I was on the bench, so it's whatever.
Anna was the best cheerleader. Seriously. Like, bench mob to, like, extreme.
It was so fun.
You're
actually.
on the court, and you have somebody pulling you back off the court. Like,
there's, like, no pressure to, like, perform, you know? I was like, this is pretty chill. But...
I think Anna really liked it more on the bench than on the court. No pressure. You're so right.
Yeah. Well, so great times in high school. Now Sav is a mom.
Oh, yeah.
Dang.
Yeah.
Your world changes.
Yes, it does.
She is a lover of Diet Coke. And
yes.
Shout out Diet Coke.
Shout
in
out
the studio with us today.
Yeah, I know. I know this is about, like, coffee and calling, but like Diet Coke and calling.
It's all right.
Whatever floats your boat.
We have enough coffee for everyone here.
Yeah.
So true.
And she's a lover of Indiana Fever.
Oh, yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
Mega fan.
You seem plugged in enough to, like, be tight with Caitlin Clark. You got her phone number or anything?
No, like, I really wish.
Though.
I really wish. Like, I literally was, like, looking at ways to, like, somehow be, like, a chaplain for, like, the Indiana Fever. And just, like, I'm like, I would love to share the gospel with this team.
Dude, you should just show up and be like, I'm your new chaplain.
I don't know how that would go.
Somebody.
You know, actually, I am friends with 2 chaplains in the Indiana Pacers organization, and we should talk after the podcast because I think the Fever is connected under the Pacers umbrella a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
So
they're tight friends. They're family down there.
Okay.
I didn't have season tickets, but I think I went to, like, 9 games.
I was going to ask you how many, because you had an Instagram post, and like every post was a different, like, outfit. So I was like, how many times has she gone?
Yeah,
it's so cool.
It's a problem. It's
a
problem.
No.
But, like, you know, it was a hobby. So.
Yeah, it's good. You know.
But yeah, we'll connect everybody together afterwards. Yeah, that'd be awesome. Yeah,
I'll hold you to that.
Yeah. Well, I'm for real. So we'll have photographic evidence of numbers being exchanged afterwards.
That's great.
Yeah,
That's great.
Cool. Okay. All right. Now we've got the chit chat part out of the way, so let's dive right into the meat and potatoes. Yes, because everybody loves meat and potatoes. Mate.
Potatoes.
Good night, mate.
Okay. If your calling story was a food, what food would it be? No, I'm just kidding.
Wow. I kind of like that question. I'm all about the pictures, you know?
All right. I'll tell you what. Tell the story and then answer what food it is. So let me ask you the question. Sav, tell us, how did God call you into ministry?
Well, it wasn't an easy type of, wow, I know where I'm called. And it took me a while to finally, I feel like, recognize what my calling was, because I started off at Taylor University. I was just
shout out Taylor.
Shout down
Taylor.
Hey now.
Hey, JK, we love Taylor.
Yeah, that's
no
true.
hate.
Anna loves
no
Taylor.
Hate.
Cool. Hey now, great school. Actually ended up transferring from Taylor somewhere else. We can get to that later. But started out, I was going to be a history teacher there.
Dang.
I was like, love history. I'm going to pursue this. I'm going to be around students, because I thought I was going to be like a high school history teacher.
Yeah.
I don't know what I was thinking. We'll get to that later. But ended up transferring from Taylor to Bethel. Boo, Bethel.
Shout out Bethel.
No,
we
shout
like Bethel.
out. Yeah. It's just not Taylor.
Yeah.
So.
Or Indiana Wesleyan. I know.
Indiana Wesleyan, shout out.
Never transferred there. Should have. But love Bethel.
Yeah.
Cool.
So anyways, transferred to Bethel, still pursuing being a history teacher. End up one day, because my dad's a pastor. Shout out being a PK.
Let's go.
PK's out there. My dad goes, hey, you don't have a summer job. Like, you kind of need one. Like, you need to make money. I'm like, dude, I'm an athlete, Dad. I play basketball. Like, I'm going to be working out in the summer. Like, come on now. And he's like, well, how about you go check out this church in Fort Wayne? I have connections there. I think they're looking for like a summer intern. I'm like, okay. So I remember going, sitting in service and being like, dude, this is cool.
At Pathway?
At Pathway
Okay.
Community Church.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
So church in Fort Wayne, pretty bigger church.
Shout out Pathway.
That's right.
Shout out Fort Wayne.
So sitting there at Pathway being like, I could do something like this. So ended up leaving the service, calling the guy that was offering the internship, and just said, hey, like, I'd love to talk more about this. And he's like, all right. So he goes, you're actually going to be the middle school intern if you want to. We talked through that. I'm like, I don't even know if I like middle schoolers, but I just love people. So like maybe I'll meet some people this summer. It'll be so fun. So I did a middle school internship that summer where I preached almost every week in the summer.
Wow.
I put together like games, events. I was basically, they called it at the time, like the youth pastor for the summer.
Wow.
I was like 20.
Yeah.
I'm like, no offense. Like, I know you're 20, but it was a lot of
But
responsibility.
At this point, were you still pursuing that history degree?
Oh, for
so
sure.
So you don't have like the typical like homiletics class or like any ministry, whatever.
I'd never given a message in my life.
Yeah, wow.
And I'm like, hey, everybody, I'm Sav, and I'm new to Fort Wayne, so here we go.
Let me tell you about the War of 1812.
No, literally, I'm like, I can tell you about this.
this.
So it
That's
pushed me
great.
outside of my comfort zone for sure. Like public speaking, like I can have conversations pretty easily with anybody, but
Yeah.
talk about a stage and like a youth group that's not just like some small youth group either.
Right.
Like, you better get up there and know what you're doing to some extent.
What size were you looking at when you were first in there?
It would probably be when I started, like which is crazy to think about, like 120.
Wow.
And yeah, now we're, I mean, like close to 400, which is
Yeah.
just
That's
crazy.
insane.
Like the
That's
shift
so-
there,
yeah.
though. But we'll get there because I'm obviously still at Pathway now. So just speaking to 120 kids, which is just crazy, middle school kids, I'm like, man, this was an awesome internship summer. Got paid to do it. Met a lot of people. Gonna go back and be a history teacher. Okay, great. So go back to school. I'm at Bethel and I'm pursuing being a history teacher. And then the guy that offered me the internship calls me again and said, hey, do you want to come back and do a high school internship? I'm like, dude, yeah, why not? Get paid again. I get to see some of the same people that I met. This is awesome. End up going back and loved high schoolers even more. I'm like, man, middle schoolers, they're okay, but high schoolers,
Next level.
100%. So I go back to Bethel after that internship, still saying, I'm going to be a history teacher. Okay. I've had 2 internships at a church, and I'm like, dead set history. So I have a moment, and I remember I was in my dorm room. It was me and the Lord, and I just very specifically for the whisper of the Lord to say, when are you going to stop running away for what I've called you to?
Wow.
And I literally said back to him, I'm like, you're going to have to make this like so clear. If I go into the admissions office and like switch my major, like if I can't graduate in time, I'm not doing it.
Dang.
So
Wow.
went in expecting, there's no way I'm going to be able to switch my courses and make this happen. Like I was an athlete. Like there's no way. Going into my junior year,
Wow.
go in, sit down with my admission counselor. Yeah, I think we can make this work.
Dang. Let's go.
Wow.
I'm like, all right, Lord, here I am. Send me.
Yeah.
Holy cow, how do we get here?
Wow.
Because it's like I grew up as a pastor's kid. I didn't want to go into ministry.
Right.
I never thought that was going to be what God called me to. But how could I not? I mean, I loved both of my internships, and God was giving me passions and giftings that I didn't even see.
Yeah.
So it was like, finally, the Lord was like, I don't know what you've been missing. Wake up. And finally, I was like, all right, Lord. So switched my major to ministry, graduated in time, and then basically had to make a decision my senior year. Like, do I continue to play basketball overseas, or do I take a potential job at Pathway where I've interned?
Yeah.
And ended up praying through it. And the Lord was like, I mean, I just feel like I've continued to open these doors.
Yeah.
And then took the job at Pathway and have been there almost, 9 years at Pathway.
Wow.
Still there. No longer like a youth pastor, but a student ministries pastor now, and just loving it and feel very much so called to be there.
That's so cool. You know, I hear that moment in your dorm room, and I think of my story as well, which I've shared on the podcast before. I literally told God at a beach. I'm from Florida, so we do
Wow.
beach baptisms.
Wow.
Yeah, so I got baptized in the
That's so
Gulf of
Nothing better.
Mexico. Yeah, oh, it was so good. We built a mobile stage out on Madeira Beach in Florida, and did a whole like live worship set, and then we got baptized in the basically the Gulf of Mexico.
Wow.
So cool. Amazing
That's so
experience.
cool.
I said at that point, I said, God, because he was calling me and I wasn't picking up what he was putting down, you know what I'm saying? And I said, God, I am too stupid to see it unless you put it physically in my face. And a lady that I respect very much to this day was a youth sponsor in the youth group, came up to me not even 5 minutes after that prayer and like got in my face and said, Pastor.
Wow.
Yeah, it was so cool.
God
so cool.
said, hello.
Yeah, exactly. And, we can be so focused on a path and a way to go and not even see how God is moving and working in all of our stories. It's really insane.
Yeah, no, I feel that. I feel like because of the world and the culture we live in, it's like, oh, like just pursue your dreams, be the most successful and all these things. And it's like, I think God it doesn't have to be ministry, but just like in all these different things, he's really trying to speak like, hey, I just want to use you. I just want to use you. But we're just so focused on what we see in front of us and what the world's telling us that we just miss out.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah, God is such a great storyteller. And, we're usually not in the mood for a story. We're in the mood for a quick, instant gratification thing in front of us. We don't have this desire to be a part of God's longer. Man, he writes stories. We just did a podcast with Dave Carr, who was talking about it took him 6 years to lean into his calling.
Wow.
Because his youth pastor saw him walk in as a middle schooler, and God said to him, that guy's going to be a pastor, but you can't tell him. I got to tell him. And then 6 years later, after Dave said to his youth pastor, I think I'm called to ministry, the youth pastor told him the story. And it's like God was writing this 6-year-long epic story, and oftentimes we don't have but 30 seconds to focus on anything because we have, the attention span of a goldfish now.
That's so true.
Yeah,
we are goldfish.
We are goldfish, basically.
That's like the title of this podcast.
We are goldfish.
Yeah.
It's like TikTok is the outside of a fish tank, and we're the fish, and we're just like looking out, like, oh, that's cool. Oh yeah. Stop tapping on the glass. All right?
I do have a pet fish, so I might have to like try that out.
Yeah, what's your pet fish's name?
You'll never guess.
No, I won't.
Fishy. Anyways,
you had like a pet guinea pig or something at one point too,
and it was called Guinea.
No, his name was Spike.
Oh, okay.
Because he has spiky hair, obviously.
And you like jealous, Hera?
The other was named S'mores because he was s'mores colored.
What are s'mores colored?
Like the gold for the graham cracker, the brown for the chocolate, the white for the s'mores. I mean, the marshmallow.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah. Anyways.
Yeah. It's my pet history.
Your sister had like an iguana or something. It's fine.
True.
You had a zoo going on at your house.
Name is Kevin, but it's a girl. So
she has a pet iguana named Kevin.
It's what's it called? Bearded dragon.
Oh, that's cool.
And then my other sister has a tortoise named Harry. It's funny because tortoises don't have hair. So
I'm serious. There's so many animals over at that house.
The Vi sisters are a strange bunch. When you get them all together, it's a strange. I have yet to meet Ashley, right?
Yeah.
I can't wait. The stories I've heard about Ashley. Funny. So, yeah. Anyway, Sav, this is your podcast.
Sorry. Yeah.
It was just Anna in high school. So I was just going back to that question.
Absolutely. Yeah. Did you have a follow-up question? It felt like I was interrupting.
Yeah.
Oh,
no worries.
Cool,
no worries.
Cool.
So I remember in my time at Pathway, you started a campaign with Destiny Rescue. You mind telling us just a little bit about that, about what the Lord was speaking into your heart, and how that came about?
Yeah, well, it came about actually when me and Anna, we did this thing called Stranded.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
It's where you're out in the middle of Nebraska being trained to deliver the gospel to dark, dangerous, and despised places.
Oh, my gosh.
It deserves its own podcast.
Oh,
okay.
No, literally.
We're
Caleb Bislow back in here.
Yeah, literally.
That
would be so cool if we talked. Oh, my God. Okay.
Put it on the list. But
it's on the list.
It's training and raising up the next generation to deliver the gospel to dark, dangerous, and despised places. I did it after I graduated college, and it just wrecked me in the best way possible. So I was telling a couple of the girls in the youth group, I'm like, hey, like, you guys should do it. And they're like, oh, I don't know about that. They signed up. They signed up.
She was telling us about, there's this part in it where you go into the creature cave. What's it called?
The creature pit.
Yeah, the creature pit. And like, that alone, like, turned me on.
What's the creature pit?
Yeah, you like walk, it's in the middle of the night, you walk into this little pit and there's creatures.
There's more to that. Like, your ministry.
There's more to that.
It sounds like it's just it sounds like it's just Fear Factor.
I mean, somebody did say it's like Naked and Afraid, but you're not naked.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So anyways, I told them about it. 3 of them signed up and we drove down. I went as a leader. They went as students. And I just remember that week kind of just having my own reflection time with the Lord and hearing just a whisper of 100 girls. And I was like, what does that mean? I think I even told the 3 of you, I was like, I don't know what this means. I'm going to pray through this. But a couple weeks before that, one of the girls at my workplace, her name's Lydia, was talking about Destiny Rescue, and Destiny Rescue really fights against human trafficking. And she was saying to basically rescue a girl, it costs about $1,500 per girl. And I was like, okay. So then I was thinking 100 girls, okay, $1,500, that's $150,000. Is that what I'm supposed to do? And me and my husband, Ethan, just prayed about it for a while and we wrestled. And I was like, all right, like, we're going to do this thing. I don't know how we're going to do it, but like, let's do a campaign to rescue like 100 girls because these girls, like, they have a name, they have a story, they have a life, like they are adopted like by the one true King. And like, we've got to do something about this. Like, one of my favorite quotes actually from Caleb Bislow is compassion without action is a wasted reaction.
Yeah.
Ooh,
and
so
it's
good.
like,
so good, right?
Okay,
so good.
Let's not just have compassion. Like, let's do something about it. And so often it's like our heart breaks, but we don't do anything about it. And so just trying to live that out and not knowing like what that looked like, but got a team of people around for this campaign. And it took us 2 years, but not only did we raise $150,000, which rescues 100 girls, but more than that, it was raising awareness. It's like, hey, like, do you know, like, there's people out there that are being trafficked each and every day?
Yeah.
Like, even where you live, it's not just other countries, although it is happening there.
Yeah.
But it's like, it's all around you.
Yeah.
Like, we've got to be aware. Like, there's 2 sides to it. If people aren't aware, they're not going to even have a broken heart or compassion about it. But like, there's different parts we can play in it.
Yeah.
It's like, you may not be having a passion to do something necessarily about it and go overseas, but maybe you have the financial resources to be part of like preventing it. Maybe you have a voice to be able to speak at different places that can get sponsors and all that. So it's like, we did this campaign, we brought it into our youth group a little bit too, and outside of our youth group. And just to see God really just take what little I had and just my obedience and like a bunch of people around me and just say, hey, like, just trust me. I'd never done something like that before. I'm like, we did
crazy.
Like a color run.
Yeah, we did a huge garage sale.
Yeah,
that was
silent
crazy.
auction.
Yeah.
I'm like,
that's crazy.
Like, I barely know how to run a youth group. I don't even know. I'm just trying to raise money for this. Like, what is this?
So how many years into being the youth pastor did this campaign come about?
It would have been maybe 6. I was 6 years into ministry, maybe.
Okay.
So this was my senior year.
Yeah, probably
so
6 years ago, like 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Probably, yeah. So it's not too long that the campaign's been like over, although like people are still giving towards it.
Yeah.
But it wasn't too long ago.
And if you are interested in giving, there will be a link in the description of this podcast so you can still go and do that. But there's also some other things Sav's involved in that you might want to donate to that you can talk about later.
Yes.
Towards the end of the podcast.
Great.
Yeah. Awesome. But yeah, you know, Destiny Rescue is a really cool organization. And how did you get connected? So something that I think would be helpful for listeners to know, even if they're still just in high school and they're still like called to ministry, is how do you get connected with organizations that do these kind of things? That if you have a mission that God's laying on your heart, how do you find an organization that also has that, and how do you work together? So how did you get plugged in with Destiny Rescue?
Yeah, I mean, Lydia worked for Destiny Rescue, who shared with me about it.
Okay.
It's funny because my husband now works there at Destiny Rescue.
That's
He
cool.
does the video side of things. So like, he wasn't working there at the start of the campaign, but God like did some cool things in his heart. Now he's doing the video portion of that stuff there. But anyways, there's a lot of different organizations out there that are actually doing something about the injustices going on in this world, the things that break our hearts. And I think even for me, as I was even praying through, like, what does 100 girls mean? Like, I got even online and looked to see what other organizations were fighting against this. Like, for me, human trafficking was something that broke my heart. And I felt like, okay, 100 girls, I think that's pretty clear, specific that route.
Yeah.
But there's other organizations that are out there. It's like if a student, whether in high school or adult, like is passionate about something, there are organizations online. You got to do your research and make sure that they're like that organization is actually like, where are the funds going? How much of the funds are actually going to like the problem and to solve the problem, like versus like going to the organizations. But doing your research and like, you also have to know that to do a campaign too, and like to do it well, because people aren't going to just jump onto a campaign if it's like, oh, well, this company's not really doing what they say they're doing.
Right.
But there's a wide range of different ministries out there. And I think like whether that be on Instagram or just Googling like online, like I just typed in organizations that are like fighting for the cause of like against the cause of sex trafficking. And like Destiny Rescue is like one of the first that popped up. And there's a couple of different ones that are great organizations too. I just so happened to jump on with Destiny Rescue because I had basically been my friend had talked about it, but there's a variety of different ways to jump on that.
Yeah, because you know the younger generation, younger than me, you know, Anna's generation, because they're so much younger than me.
What do you call it?
Jits.
Jits.
Yeah, anyone younger than you is your jit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is this a real term?
It's a Florida thing.
I don't believe it.
Yeah.
A Florida thing?
Yeah. No, we used to.
He's yanking our chain.
No, I'm being for real. No,
yanking our chain.
Jit. Anyone who is younger than you is your jit.
So you're my jit?
Yes. Yep. Okay. Exactly. So eventually everyone is your jit, and you just have this like social power over everyone younger than you, just because you're older, you know? You've earned it. You've gone through the hard things of life. So you're my jit, you know, that kind of thing. Yeah.
So Jesus would refer to everybody under him as his jits?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my gosh.
Because the eternal Son of God has always been, we are all his jits.
I love it.
So okay, this is where I was going with that. So the younger generations have this stirring within them to do more, to get involved more. I think people have coined the term like activist culture. That's kind of symbolic of the younger generation that's coming up now. And I think to unleash that and focus that on the things that break God's heart and getting plugged in with organizations who really turn the tide in these different struggles that are all over the world are how we can best help this younger generation be unleashed for the kingdom of God.
Yeah.
Have you noticed in youth group kind of a change in the demeanor of generations between even right before Anna's time to now?
Some. I still feel like there's a lot of students that have a passion but just don't know what to do with it.
Right.
Yeah.
And so they're just like, I can't do anything.
Right.
And so they just opt to doing nothing.
Yeah.
Because I think the first thought, I've heard it said, it's like the first thought is like, I need to do something. And then it gets to, if we can't do something, well, somebody else will do something.
Right.
And then it's like, we never do anything.
And it's that bystander effect.
Yes.
Where everybody's just kind of standing around. There's a problem there, but somebody will get to it.
Yeah.
Or the thought of like, oh, I'm too young, or you know, I don't really have authority here, or I can't really do anything that matters.
Yep. I don't make any money.
Right,
I'm a freshman or sophomore in high school.
Exactly.
Like, I have nothing. Like, I'm like, you don't just need money to be able to do things.
Yeah.
Like, God has given you gifts too. Like, I think we need to have more students just take initiative and actually see where they can use their gifts and not just assume it's just financially that they can to change the world.
Yeah.
Like they have stuff to offer too.
Yeah.
But,
and then as leaders coming alongside them in that and like leading them in that, because you don't know what you don't know.
Amen.
That's right. So true. So true. And just getting together and praying for the thing.
Oh,
the
so
power
good.
in that.
Yeah.
That's so true. Yeah. I mean, did you talk to him about this? Actually?
I did actually. I told him, but I don't think you remember.
It's okay.
She told me about the camp thing that you guys were just talking about.
Yeah.
The like the creature,
stranded.
whatever.
Yeah.
What is it called?
Stranded.
Yeah. Okay.
The creature.
The creature cave. That's what I remembered.
Not when it's all.
Probably a year and a half ago, she told me about that camp. And then we were just having lunch last week when we were talking about you. And she was saying, how have I not told you this before? And as soon as she started talking about it, I was like, oh, yeah, you did tell me that.
Definitely
Yeah.
that.
So yeah, the prayer when we were doing this campaign. What is so at 1:20 every day we would pray. But what was the symbolism of that?
I think it was along the lines of if one person gave like $20, if every student in the United States gave $20, sex trafficking would like cease to exist.
Just a one-time $20.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah.
Isn't that
the
crazy?
students at universities all across the United States.
Yeah.
And so we kind of picked this, I guess, time 1:20 every day to just our group to pray.
Yeah. So crazy. Yeah. And so alarms would go off like in the middle of volleyball games. We would like huddle and pray. Like it's crazy.
That's amazing.
And, during that year, my credit card got scammed. So I had to get a new credit card.
I forgot about this.
And my CVV or whatever it's called was 120.
Dang. Do you still have that credit card? If you do, what are the numbers for the rest of it?
She got scammed again. I'm kidding.
I actually thought I lost it. So then I got another one and then I found it in the back of my wallet. So it's whatever.
Dang. That's cool.
But
that's so cool.
120 is significant.
Yeah, I think I called a timeout during a volleyball game just so we could pray at 1:20.
It's true. Yeah, because Sav also coached volleyball.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Shout out volleyball coaches. Volleyball is my favorite sport.
Really?
Yeah, it's so fun. It's the best. I love it.
Yeah, it is so fun.
Anna has watched me play volleyball now twice, and both times it's been just a miserably embarrassing experience.
Hey.
I talk to everyone about volleyball and how much I love it. And then I get to play with Anna when we're in Florida with a big group of people, and I suck it up.
I don't even remember that, so.
You don't?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. That's great. Cool.
Yes.
Glad to know you remember cool experiences.
Hey, it keeps you humble, okay?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. We all need a little bit of sprinkling of that.
Sprinkling of humility.
Humility,
No, but I mean, 120 was actually, I think, one of the cooler parts of the campaign. It's like the awareness piece, because it's like whoever I was with, and I was meeting with a variety of different people.
Yeah.
My alarm goes off, and they're like, "What's that for?" I'm like, "Actually, would you mind? We're gonna just pray."
That's so cool.
And they're like, "Oh yeah," and you get to tell people who don't know.
Yeah.
Like, did you know like these amount of people like get trafficked every hour or whatever it is? I know like the numbers have changed since then, but like to just share, and it's like, no, I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
Like, and you get other people at least aware that there's an issue.
That's so cool.
Yeah, we had a little abbreviation of PAM.
That's right. Yeah, I forgot.
I just remembered pray, and then awareness, and then the money. So it was like that was our priority. So
I need to write that down. I forgot about that. And we did say this. I just forgot. Pam.
You got it tattooed right here, don't you?
Oh yeah, that'll be my next one.
Pam. Oh, who's Pam?
Pray, awareness, and money. No, that's awesome.
That's great. That's so good. So Sav, when it comes to going back into your calling story, going back into your time as a youth pastor, going back into all that, how did you see yourself grow from outside of college? You finished ministry school, which ministry school is great and awesome. There's a lot you pick up and learn, especially when you're late to the game, right? There's some people called in middle school to be a pastor and everything, but you get called what year of college?
Would have been 2016. Because I graduated in 2017, yeah.
Oh, wow.
I got like
your junior year.
Yeah.
So you had like this crash course of ministry education, and then you jump right into being a youth pastor at a large church. So tell us about the growth in that. What were the things you were learning and developing in, and what helped you grow?
Oh, man, I've grown. I mean, from college to being a youth ministry, I grew so much, and I'm still, and I hope always will be growing.
Yeah.
But just like, technically, like they gave me grace on a lot of classes that I didn't have to take, and that's like I would have taken them, but it's like, okay, like take this course in the summer, or like just take this like shortened course, and it's like this is gonna help me in ministry, but I'm like taking a shortened course of it, and so it just feels odd. But anyways, coming to Fort Wayne, like the areas where I felt like I really needed to grow was just like how do you be a 22-year-old that's supposed to work with parents?
Ooh, yeah.
Like, I'm 22, or even small group leaders that I'm supposed to encourage, train, and coach, and I'm 22.
And they're like 40s and...
Yeah, and I'm like, hi, I'm Sav. Would you like to learn something? I'm like, I have nothing to offer them. Like, I love Jesus and I love ministry, but like, you've been doing this. And so just like, how do I go about doing that? Like, how do I go about, okay, I've been at Pathway for 2 summers, but now like I'm jumping in. I still don't know everybody here. I'm leaving, my community that I've grown at college, and it's like starting over in a sense where it's like getting an apartment, like all of these things, and manage like rest and work. But then also like doing ministry all the time. But one of our phrases is like doing the ministry of God, but not letting like that be destroyed, what God's doing in you. And I think so often we get so like just do like in ministry that destroys the work that God's trying to do in us. And I'm like, I think that was the biggest thing that I learned from like even college to being a youth pastor. It was just like I was just doing and missing what God was doing in me. And I think so often at least people in ministry miss just sitting, at least early on in ministry, miss sitting with the Lord, and are so concerned about their messages and so concerned about an event and so concerned about all these things. But if you're not first sitting with the Lord, you're missing absolutely everything. And I think that was like the biggest piece within like really my first year or two that I was like, okay, Sav, like you've got to actually carve out way more time to just sit with the Lord. And then like ministry will flow so much more easier. And it's like they tell you that in college, but then when you get all the expectations of like, oh, you're a youth pastor and like you got a big ministry and people to handle and like small group leaders, it's like the thing that gets easily forgotten first. And it's like you're also, at least for me, I was starting at a new place, and so it's like I'm just going and fully like enveloping myself in work. And I feel like that was like the biggest piece for me is just sit with the Lord. Spend time with him. Like, because then ministry will flow naturally with that.
Yeah. So then if you're talking to our audience, who we target high schoolers, that's who we're really trying to reach. If you're talking to them directly and they're got a call to ministry, they're figuring out, how do I get educated in ministry? How do I get experience and all that stuff? Your advice and your piece for them is to, even now, develop a rhythm of being with the Lord above everything.
Oh, 100%. And I think, even when they go into college, it's going to be easy with ministry classes to just
mix the two.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. And it's like, it's awesome. You get to study the Bible, like that you're going to school for that. Yeah. Like I wish I would have actually had 4 years to do that. Like, that's so cool. But to just miss simply like just being with the Lord.
Yeah.
Like just crying out in prayer.
Yeah.
Like sat in Indiana Wesleyan's chapel today and we just sat in prayer. So good. Like we've got to have those moments before we're up on stage. Like
absolutely.
You've got to be, and oftentimes you hear many people say you got to fill your cup, but like especially like if you're in ministry, like you've got to be able to sit first and seek the Lord's face before doing any type of ministry.
And if you're trying to disciple students and leading others in that, like you can't lead them where you're not already or haven't already been.
100%.
And you'll be really dry when you try to just continue to work out of your cup, and you just you're not having your cup filled.
Yes.
As you talked about.
I also think learn too. I think so many times people go into ministry and it's like, I've got to have it all figured out.
So true.
And like, no. Like, again, like I said, I was 22 years old going into full-time ministry. Like, I wish somebody would have had the guts to just say, hey, approach this with so much humility of like, you have something to learn. Like, so and good. You don't know it all.
So you're telling me when you're 22, you don't know everything?
That would be correct. But I so thought
I'm taking notes. I'm taking notes.
Oh, but I think
2 years from now, you're going to have it all.
That's true. You have a lot of notes.
Yeah.
But I think so often when you get a job, I think for any job, not just in ministry, but it's like, oh, I have to like be put together and know how to handle every situation and know how to handle every parent, every expectation, every whatever. And it's like, you don't know what you don't know. And a lot of times, like with ministry, yes, you can study, but I think experience is the best teacher.
Absolutely.
And it's like, I wish I would have had more humility going into it and just been like, hey, like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Even now, like, I challenge our small group leaders and anybody that's starting in ministry, like, hey, like, be okay saying like, hey, I don't know that, but I'm going to study that and look more into that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I still say that.
Yeah.
Like, we've got to have a humble approach. That's
Absolutely.
exactly how Jesus modeled his ministry. It was just with humility.
Yeah. And it's so much better than just coming up with an answer that you don't even know if it's true or not.
You know, I used to work at Apple. And
wow.
Shout out Apple.
Shout out Apple. It was one of my favorite jobs. It was so good. We did this like like 3 or 4 days full of training. And when you walked in, all of the like people they could get from all the local Apple stores were like clapping you in. It's like, yeah, you work for Apple now. This is great. All this stuff. But one of the things they taught us in that training was don't just say, I don't know. And don't just give a fake answer.
Yep.
Instead, say, I don't know, and invite that person to come discover it with you.
Oh, they taught you that in Apple?
Yes.
I hear that in like discipleship.
That's like crazy.
Yeah,
It is crazy. It is crazy. But instead of just, I feel like pastors don't typically say, I don't know, and leave it there. They say, I don't know, let me go figure it out, and then I'll come report back. But instead, it could just be, hey, I don't know, let's discover it together. Yep. And then you walk them through that process of how you go and you discover things, which is so cool. Yeah.
You've got to be teachable, too, as a young pastor. So because I've learned so much from my boss who had been in ministry way longer than I had. And if I would have walked in with I still had the spirit of that, but of like, oh, I don't have anything to learn. I learned it in my 2 years of whatever at Bethel University. Like that just wouldn't have gone well. Like I've learned so much, like just through being teachable, and like people in ministry need to be teachable.
Amen. So good. So good. Anna, you wanna hit Sav with our final question?
Oh, I would love to.
Oh boy.
So we just kind of briefly talked about advice you would give to yourself or what you learned and advice you would give people starting out in ministry. But if we were to take it back a couple more years, time travel to when you first got called into ministry, your junior year of college, what advice would you give yourself then?
So just being called into ministry.
Fresh out.
Oh, man. I would say be ready to go on a wild ride.
Yes.
So good.
And a ride of surrender and dying to self. And because ministry isn't easy.
Yeah.
But man, like if God's called you, and we all know this, like He will provide. And I'm a person that has seen that, of just like, okay, like I was a pastor's kid and you just called me, and now, okay, what's this gonna look like? And be prepared for a wild ride that God's gonna take you on, but He's with you.
Yeah.
And He's continued to be with me and shown up in all my different phases of being in youth ministry and being called. Okay, how's this? I'm going to graduate. I've got to take all these classes. Was with me. Like starting off at a bigger church as like a young person in ministry, He was with me, and like He's taken me on this wild ride. But I think it's been moments for me of just like, okay, surrender in this wild ride and this journey, because He's going to take care of me. I mean, He literally had to kind of similar moment where for you, it just had to in my face, but just a whisper. Of just, hey, you're going to be called. I got you. And just being reminded that if He's called, He's going to take care of you. So
yeah, good. It's a wild ride. It's a chaotic ride, but it's a good ride.
Oh, wouldn't want it any other way.
Amen.
You're riding the boat with the best sailor, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Ooh. The best captain.
Aye,
Yeah.
That's so good. Well, Sav, thanks so much for being on our podcast today. So good.
This was so good.
Yeah.
Oh, you people are awesome. Such a blessing.
You are awesome and cool, so I've heard. And now experienced. Yeah.
Like an hour. You don't know me very well, but you're like, it's okay.
Oh, it wears off after about an hour?
Normally at the hour mark, it's like, all right, she's in.
That's when you're like, all right, I'm out.
It's not true. Don't listen to it.
Okay.
Well, thank you so much, everyone, for just tuning in and listening to Sav's story. What an awesome just way that the Lord called her into ministry. And yeah, just her sharing everything that she's learned so far.
So good.
Yeah. So thanks for listening. Tune in next week. And we pray that your cup will overflow this week.